Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mike, and today we're talking about something extremely important, especially for foreign men living here in the Philippines, dating a Filipina, or even just thinking about moving here someday. We need to talk about Republic Act 9262, the law known as Violence Against Women and Their Children, and how it has gone terribly wrong for a number of foreigners who didn't understand how powerful, how far-reaching, and how one-sided this law can be. If you're a foreign man living in the Philippines or planning to, you absolutely need to understand this, because one mistake can ruin your life here, destroy your freedom, and trap you in the country for years. This isn't fear-mongering. This is reality. So let's get into it. So what is Republic Act 9262? Republic Act 9262, or RA 9262, was passed to protect Filipinas and their children from physical, psychological, emotional, and economic abuse. And I want to be very clear here. The purpose of the law is good. The Philippines needed stronger legal protections for women. The law gives them a way to escape bad situations, abusive partners, and men who hold financial or emotional power over them. But like many well-intentioned laws, the application can sometimes go horribly wrong, especially for foreigners who don't understand how it works. RA 9262 doesn't just apply to physical violence. You can be charged for emotional harm, psychological distress, financial or economic control, restricting her freedom, humiliation, threats, and even actions that indirectly cause stress to women or her child. And here's the biggest shocker for foreigners. You can be charged even if you never laid a hand on her. And once a woman files a case, the foreigner is often prevented from leaving the Philippines until everything is settled. That can take months, sometimes even years. Here's a true story of an American who met a Filipina in Cebu. Things started out beautifully. They found an apartment together, moved in, and built a small family life with her young daughter. For a while, everything seemed perfect. Eventually, they relocated to Davao, hoping a fresh start in a bigger apartment might make life even better. But instead, the relationship began to turn sour. Arguments became more frequent and more intense. They weren't getting along anymore, and both of them felt it. One afternoon, the Filipina left the apartment to run errands with her daughter. While they were gone, the American made a drastic decision. Because the lease was under his name, he changed the locks. Then he packed up all of her belongings along with her daughters and brought them down to the building guard. He instructed the guard not to let either of them to return upstairs to the apartment. The guard, knowing this could be a legal problem, called the police. By the next day, the American found himself under arrest. The authorities cited Republic Act 9262, the law on violence against women and their children. Many foreigners don't realize this. A man can be charged under RA 9262 even without physical abuse. Emotional, psychological, or economic harm, including forcibly evicting a partner or preventing her from their shared home, can qualify as violations. For the Filipina, this was devastating. She and her daughter were suddenly homeless and had to seek help in a shelter. This was especially humiliating for the Filipina because back in Cebu, she had a stable job in her own life before moving with him. She filed a formal RA 9262 case against the American. Now he has a court date, and because of the case, he cannot leave the Philippines until it's resolved. If he is found guilty, he could have to pay restitution to the victim, a significant fine. There's also the possibility that he could do some prison time and have a permanent record in the Philippines. What started as a relationship full of hope ended in a legal nightmare, one that many foreigners never imagined could happen to them. In the Philippines, RA 9262 is taken seriously, and ignorance of the law does not provide protection. So why does this happen to foreigners? The problem is that they come to the Philippines thinking their home country laws apply. They think the lease is in my name, so she has no right to be here. If we break up, I can kick her out. I bought everything, so I control everything. We're not married, she has no legal power. It's my apartment, so I can change the locks. But this is the Philippines, and here, the law protects women first, regardless of the lease, regardless of who paid for the apartment, and regardless of the relationship status. You don't even have to be married. You don't even have to be long-term partners. If the two of you live together as a couple, the law applies. And if she claims emotional distress, fear, psychological harm, or humiliation, the foreigner is almost always the one who goes to jail first and then explains his side later. How RA 9262 can be misused. Now this is where things get controversial. Most Filipinas are good people. Most would never misuse the law, but there are cases, more than you'd think, where RA 9262 is used as leverage, as revenge, as a weapon in a breakup, or as a way to control the foreigner. There are foreigners who paid for a house, paid for a car, supported an entire extended family, paid for school, food, medical care, only to be kicked out of their own home and threatened with RA 9262. It doesn't matter who paid. It doesn't matter who owns what. It doesn't matter how much money you have invested. Once RA 9262 is filed, you're in one of the hardest legal situations a foreigner can face in the Philippines. Even if the case is false, you often still can't leave the country until it's resolved. So what's the lesson in all of this? What do foreigners need to know? You need to take relationships here seriously. You need to understand that the law protects women first. You need to understand that breaking up with someone in the wrong way can get you arrested. And you need to know that you cannot kick her out. You cannot lock her out. You cannot withhold financial support if she depends on you. You cannot threaten to leave her homeless. You cannot humiliate her. You cannot cause distress to her child. Even if you didn't mean any harm, even if it's your apartment, even if you're the one paying for everything, one wrong move can land you in handcuffs. So that's the reality of how RA 9262, a law designed to protect women, can go terribly wrong for foreigners who don't understand how seriously it's taken here. If you're planning to date or move to the Philippines, you must know the laws. You must protect yourself, and you must end relationships the right way. I'm not saying this to scare you. I'm saying this so that you don't end up like many foreigners who have learned the hard way after it was too late. If you want more videos about dating in the Philippines, expat life, or legal issues foreigners face, make sure to hit that like and subscribe. Also, remember the bell notification. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. God bless and peace out.